In this video, we're going to be discussing how to set up a Facebook account as well as running our first Facebook campaigns. So to set up your first Facebook account, you're going to need to go to business.facebook.com and you're going to need to create what's called a business manager. You need to create 2 business managers. You're allowed up to 2 for every personal account that you have. And the reason for this is that you want to have access to another one should one of them be banned, whether it's your fault or Facebook's fault. Being banned on Facebook is just kind of part of running on Facebook. The goal is to build up as many accounts as possible. So on this account, on my personal account, I have 2 example accounts here that I've made that have 5 ad accounts each. So I now have 10 accounts that I can work with. Typically, I recommend you have 30 to 40 ad accounts before you start running any affiliate content. And how you can do this is by opening up a business manager, creating 1 ad account, and starting to run some very white hat or clean content. Now, when you do this, it's going to raise up your threshold for the amount of ad accounts you're allowed to have, which it can actually eventually reach over 1,000 ad accounts. Once you have that many accounts, you don't really need to worry about being banned on Facebook because you have so many backups. So the goal is to build up as many backup reserve accounts as possible before we start running anything affiliate on Facebook. The reason for this is that once you have 1 ad account banned inside of a business manager, you are not allowed to create any more ad accounts inside of that business manager. And no, there is absolutely nothing you can do to get around that. So once again, it is super, super important to increase the threshold on the amount of accounts that you can get by running some clean white hat content. Even if it's just $5 per day, running a campaign like a page likes campaign is really going to help your account and allow you to get quite a few ad accounts. So now that I have that rant out of the way, let's go into one of these business managers and let's actually take a look at how I would set up a Facebook affiliate marketing campaign. So here I am inside of one of my ad accounts inside of my business manager. Now, before I'm going to create any ad, I want to focus on setting up my page and my billing. So make sure that you go up here to the menu and you choose business settings. You set up your billing and any payment information. And you also go ahead and add in some pages or create a page. Now, when you create a page for Facebook, I like to keep mine as generic as possible so that I can use it over and over again. Whether it gets banned, I can simply add it into the next ad account and keep that cycle going and going so that I don't have to keep spending money boosting up my Facebook page. So go ahead and create a Facebook page as well while you're setting up your billing. You're going to want to figure out whatever niche you want to run on Facebook first. So if you want to run an e-commerce affiliate offer, you're definitely going to want to stick with something like Cool Gadgets instead of naming it the specific brand name of the product. The reason for this is that it allows you to market many, many different products. And let's say one of the offers gets banned or it doesn't convert, you don't have to spend more money on building up your Facebook page likes. So that brings me into my next point. The very first campaign that I'm going to create is going to be my page likes. The reason for this is that Facebook views a page as in having its own score. So in the same way that Facebook has an ad relevance score and it's going to rate the quality of your ads, it's also going to give your page a relevance score. And how this happens is it's based on the amount of likes that your fan page has, and it's also based on the rate of engagement that your fan page is receiving. So you're going to want to warm it up with about 10,000 page likes. And I know what you're thinking, that you can't afford that. That's a lot of money. But I'm going to show you how to get around that. So if we come to continue and we come down here to the country section, I always open it up and leave it set to India. And you're probably thinking, won't Facebook have a problem with me selecting a different country and then advertising in another country? The answer is no. Facebook does not take a look at the country of the page's audience. It's just looking for the engagement and the amount of likes. So this is great news for us because page likes from India are literally sometimes a fraction of a cent. So I'm finding that I can spend $100 to $150 and I'll have my 10,000 page likes in no time. It typically takes about a day or 2 to reach that point. So I'm not going to go through the rest of the process simply because this is a very, very simple setup and it's very easy to set up a Page Likes campaign. So at this point, I'm going to come back to the objective section and I'm going to create another campaign for paid post engagement, or also called PPE. The importance of PPE, or paid post engagement, is that it's very important to our ad's relevance score. So after you get 500 impressions on your ad on Facebook, it's going to rate your ad as far as how relevant it thinks your ad is to your audience and how well your audience is engaging with that ad. Now, the higher your relevance score, the cheaper the cost it is to advertise, and it's also going to get a lot more exposure. So I always tell people never to advertise anything that is getting a relevance score lower than 8. The reason for this is that once you get lower than 8, you start to get really expensive cost per clicks, and you're going to notice that costs continue to increase over time. So I would recommend always to cut ads that are lower than a relevance score of 8. If you have an 8 or a 9, you should be well on your way to profit. If you have a 10, you're somehow a genius and you're likely to score big with whatever campaign that is. So for this example, I am going to show you how I would name a campaign on Facebook. I typically start with the objective, so PPE stands for paid post engagement, 45 plus, and then something for the gender, so men who are over the age of 45, and some type of interest or whatever I'm doing. If I have a lookalike audience or whatnot, I will go ahead and put that in there, like I would replace sports with lookalike audience and then the percentage of the lookalike audience. If you don't know what a lookalike audience is, don't worry about that. I can't explain that in one of the later videos. But anyways, let's just continue as if we were setting this up. So as you can see, I've set my ad set name to the demographic as well as the targeting. Now you can see that I have gone ahead and selected the United States, that's where I'm advertising, as well as 45 and up, and the gender men, and I've also set the interest to sports. As you can see, it's a monstrous interest. So 22 million is quite broad. I recommend somewhere between 4 to 6 million for reach, for the highest rate of conversion and the best efficiency and relevance score. But just for demonstration purposes, we'll go ahead and continue with the ad as if we were just going to go ahead and set this up. So the next thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to come down to edit placements, and I always set this to mobile. And the reason that I do this is that I never want to pay the premium price for desktop or connected TV. Connected TV is never really a lot of reach anyways, but desktop specifically is going to be quite expensive. So we're going to switch this to mobile for paid post engagement, and we're going to switch off everything except Facebook feeds. So we're going to go ahead and uncheck everything except Facebook feeds. And the reason for this is that the best rate of engagement and cost and relevance score you're going to get is going to be from running Facebook feeds campaigns. So the Facebook feed is the news feed. Obviously, if you use Facebook, you're familiar with what that is. If not, it does look like this. So it's essentially where you're seeing probably the majority of your ads. And the reason for that is that the Facebook feed is the most profitable placement right now for affiliate marketers, along with Instagram. Moving on here, we're going to come down here and we are going to leave this setting alone. And the daily budget, I recommend starting with $20 per day. Now, if you really have significant budget, you can up it to $100 per day, which is really a great starting spot. But if you're on limited budget, $20 per day is definitely enough to start getting quite a bit of page engagement. But if you're on a budget, $20 per day is enough to get significant post engagement. So we're going to optimize the ad delivery for post engagement, and we're going to go ahead and hit continue. Now I'm just going to select an example post from an e-com page that I have, just to show you how I would set this up. Now for this example, I'm actually going to end up showing you an ad that really doesn't have anything to do with sports. However, I would just target something like cooking or eggs or as seen on TV if I was going to run this ad. But regardless, it'll show you how to set up a paid post engagement ad. So what you're going to do is you're going to first make a post on your Facebook page. And I always recommend that you run a video. So get some type of video or go and purchase AdSector, which is ADSECTOR.com. It's a great spy tool that's meant specifically for Facebook, and you can get a lot of great videos that you can use in your ads. Now, the reason for this is that video views are literally 10% the cost of normal clicks in most cases. So it's just going to be more cost efficient, and you're going to make more money running videos right now than you will running images or just regular ads. So I highly recommend that you run a video once again. But anyways, as you can see, I have put some copy in here. Finally, make hard-boiled eggs with no mess. Order now. And then I have a Bitly link in here. So if you do not have Volume or ClickMagick, and even if you do, actually, I would recommend that you use either Bitly or goo.gl. So goo.gl is the actual domain. So go there, and it's a link shortener service that's either by Bitly or by Google. And this allows your ad to look a lot more polished, especially on mobile. If you put a full link in, like I have here in the call to action button, you're going to notice that the ad is just really going to look sloppy. It's not going to look clean, and I'm going to get a lot less clicks. So having this shortened link is going to help a lot, as well as having these emojis in here is really going to open up a lot of engagement. And I've also put a brief description of what I'm selling. So the Quick Egg Silicone Egg Poacher will make a perfect gift. So if I was targeting somebody that had an interest in cooking, this is going to be something that they see and they're going to want to buy for a friend or for themselves simply from watching the video. And at the very bottom of my ad copy, I put in some additional value. Get yours today, so a call to action, and then additional added value for free shipping. So this ad copy has served me very, very well. The style of using maybe 5 or 6 lines of text with the emojis and the shortened links. So I highly recommend that you use some setup similar to this. Now, I have also included a call to action button, so only when you're setting up a paid post engagement ad, it's going to allow you to set up a call to action. Now, you're going to want to do this even if you don't do a paid post engagement ad and you only do a website conversions ad, simply because this right here is going to double and triple your click-through rates. So it's definitely worth coming in and taking 10 seconds to add that in, and then just go ahead and pause the paid post engagement ad if you don't intend on running that. But just for example purposes, I've left it in here. And this ad actually did very, very well. I'm actually looking to turn it back on here in the next few days. I've essentially got a perfect campaign now for post engagement. I have a video, I have my emojis, some basic ad copy, a call to action, as well as a value ad and shortened links. So this is really the perfect setup you're going to want to go with. You know, try to stick with a proven template like this in your paid post engagement ads. So once we've actually completed our paid post engagement ad, we can come back to objective after we've saved that campaign, and we can come over to conversions and we can name the next one. So the same audience, even though that I wasn't targeting sports for that ad, I can go ahead and just show you how I would set this up if I was doing a website conversions campaign targeting the same audience. I would then click continue. And I'm going to want to come in here and create a Facebook pixel. Now at this point, if you don't know how to set up your Facebook pixel, please pause this video and go to the creating your Facebook pixel and installation video that I have in this section. That'll definitely walk you through the entire process of creating and setting up your Facebook pixel. That is an absolute necessity to advertising on Facebook, and you cannot skip that step. But anyways, I'm just going to skip this because I cover how to do that in another video. So once again, let's come up here and let's name our ad set so that we stay organized. And I'm going to come down here to age and gender, and I'm going to make my changes like I did in the last one. Now for running on website conversions, whether you should stick with mobile or desktop is really going to be up to a split test. The reason that I say this is that your offer is going to tell you which one performs better, but I will go ahead and make this much easier for you. If you are running any type of content that requires the user to watch a video, it is going to perform better on desktop. It's simply not common user behavior to sit there and watch a 30 to 45 minute long video presentation on your cell phone or your tablet. So you're always going to choose desktop only for campaigns where that's the case. But for simple campaigns like entering their email and their name to get paid, you're going to want to stick with mobile. And even e-commerce. E-commerce is great for mobile only because the traffic is so plentiful and it's so much cheaper. So for this example, because I would be promoting an e-commerce product, I would choose mobile only once again, and I would definitely stick with advertising on the feed to start. Now, if it's not profitable on the feed, I would obviously not only pause the ad, but I would not test anywhere else unless it's profitable here first. And the reason that I say this is that typically testing on the feed, you're going to see user response and you're going to see purchase behavior happen there the most. And once you have your success on the feed is when I typically step into Instagram. So let's say I was having success with this campaign, I would enable Instagram feed. I never do stories, but sticking with feed has been very profitable for me. But once again, because we don't have any data, we're just testing on the feed. So at this point, I would come down and edit my budget, and this kind of goes back with the paid post engagement. Depending on your budget, the more you can contribute, the better, but even $20 a day is enough to get started. For optimization of ad delivery, we are going to keep it on conversions, and no, you do not optimize for link clicks in the beginning. That's going to waste a lot of budget. You always focus in on your conversions, because at this point, your paid post engagement ad should have picked up enough relevance score on your ad that it should be an 8 or a 9 at this point. If it's not, you should not be creating a website conversion ad, and you should be focusing on setting up an ad with paid post engagement that has at least an 8 or a 9 of a relevance score. So moving on, for the conversion window, I always choose 1 day click, and I always target lowest cost for bid strategy. At this point, I would hit continue, and just to go off of my previous campaign, I would go to use existing post, and I'm going to choose that same post that I had in the paid post engagement ad, and this is the ad that I would run my website conversions to. So anyways, guys, this is how I would set up my Facebook campaigns if I was just getting started. Please keep in mind to read Facebook's policy and definitely go back and rewatch the Facebook policy basics video. Very, very important, as well as setting up as many different business managers as possible and adding as many different ad accounts as possible. The reason is, once again, Facebook is very strict on affiliate marketing, and they absolutely will shut you down at some point. It is not uncommon, and you should not get emotional when it happens. It's just part of the process. So anyways, guys, I hope this video has been helpful and insightful as far as how to create your first Facebook account, your first Facebook campaigns, and why each element is so important. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I know this was a lot of material in one video, so you may need to watch it multiple times and ask for help, and that's totally fine. We're here to help. Anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video.